Here is our paper slide presentation that depicts the factors that led up to the American Revolution. The letter from a farmer in Pennsylvania describes how taxation should not be in effect solely for revenue. This document was written by John Dickinson. John Dickinson was born on November 13, 1732. A legislator from Pennsylvania and Delaware, he was most well known for being the author of Letter from a Farmer in Pennsylvania. He also wrote a song named the Liberty Song. The Declaration of Rights and Grievances was a document written by the Stamp Act Congress. It was passed on October 19, 1765, and declared that taxes imposed on British colonists without consent is unconstitutional. A key part in this document was that trial by jury was a right. The Stamp Act Congress was a meeting held between October 7th and 25th, 1765, in New York. It was the first gathering of elective officials from the colonies to protest against British taxation. They tried to repeal the upcoming Stamp Act. Join or Die was a well-known cartoon created by Benjamin Franklin for his newspaper on May 9, 1754. It is known to be the earliest picture presentation of colonial union by a British colonist.
The Olive Branch Petition was drafted by John Dickinson and adopted by the Second Continental Congress in 1775. It was meant to assert the rights of the colonists, but still be loyal to the crown. King George refused to read it and declared the colonists to be in revolution. Common Sense was written by Thomas Paine and published in 1776. It was the first writing to advocate for American independence, and it was written to show that all it takes to understand politics is common sense. It won many colonists to American independence. Thomas Paine, the author of Common Sense, developed a career in journalism. He failed school and failed his early careers, but eventually published a document arguing for a pay raise for tax officers. This was just a hint of what was to come, and Ben Franklin found him in London and helped him to immigrate to Philadelphia. The Declaration of Independence is the document that declared that the U.S. was its own country. It explains that King George violated the unalienable rights and it officially establishes an American government. The Colonies Reduced is a political cartoon made by Ben Franklin in 1767. It's designed to show the consequences of the Stamp Acts and has the limbs depicted as the colonies and uses the body as Britain, and has Britain contemplating the decline of its claims after the Stamp Act.
Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. He was a founding father, minister of France, and considered the king of the Age of Enlightenment. He was also considered a Renaissance man, which means he was very skilled in the arts of maths and sciences and arts and stuff like that. He was also an architect, and he was part of the House of Burgesses. He was born April 13th, 1743, and died July 4th, 1826. Federalist Papers number 10. Federalist Papers number 10 was an essay written by James Madison, highly regarded political American writer. This paper addresses how to deal or guard against factions with other ideas contrary to the interests of the whole community. Mentions how a stronger centralized government would do better than individual states. Federalist Papers number 51, also written by James Madison. This papers talks about the structure of the government and how it must furnish the proper checks and balances. The purpose of these papers was to inform the readers of the safeguards created by the convention to maintain separate branches. James Madison. James Madison, born March 16, 1751, and died June 28, 1836. He was an American statesman, political theorist, father of the Constitution for drafting and ideas. He was also the author of the Bill of Rights. and wrote the Federalist Papers. Boston Bully Massacre. This was a political cartoon shown throughout the steps of the Revolution, talking about the massacre in Boston. These are all the causes of the Revolution. I hope you enjoyed this paper slide video.